Struggling with the enterprise gateway against analysis services? That and more coming up on today's Roundup. What a gloomy, wet day in Texas. I feel like I'm in Seattle. Hi, I'm Saxton. Today's Thursday. We're gonna do our Roundup today, even if it's gloomy and makes me wanna curl up on the couch and watch some TV. So let's see what happened in the last week. First up on the list is a blog post where we talk about custom visuals and sandboxing. So if you're using custom visuals, you definitely need to go check out this blog post and understand what that means for you and the development of custom visuals. It means you're not going to have access to some of the Power BI styles and other items that are part of the Power BI framework. The blog post does a good job of illustrating how you can debug it, how you can work with it, and how you can try it out today before it actually goes live. So again, if you're using custom visuals, go check this blog post out. Next up on the list is actually a triple hitter because of the release of RC0 and some of the announcements we made around that. First off, let's start with reporting services. In reporting services, really this was all about the web portal and kind of fleshing out what's there. So if you've looked at the web portal already in previous releases, go check out RC0. It's a lot more functional. You can do scheduling now, along with other items. So check out this blog post, see what you can do. And also we call out some of the limitations that were there in this release. One of the big ones that was there is in regards to scale out deployments. So if you're doing scale out deployments, you may want to hold off a little bit on the RC0 piece. So stay tuned, there's more news to come on that front. Next, we'll jump over to Analysis Services. In Analysis Services now, we support display folders, and these can be used now in Excel and Power BI Desktop. If you love PowerShell, be sure to check out RC0 because Tabular Model 1200 is now supported with the PowerShell commands. Also, SSIS now supports the new model, and the Tabular Object Model namespace, also known as TOM, is now in AMO. The last item doesn't really have to do anything with business intelligence directly, but it was a big deal, and that is that SQL Server is going to meet up with the Penguin. That's right, SQL is going to be supported on Linux. This is specific to the database engine, so AS and RS aren't in the mix. So if you're using Linux in your environment, there is a private preview that you can go test this out and see how it's working. Next on my list is a community blog post from Ruth where she looks at the Bill Gates effect. And I thought this blog post was good because she just walks through the model and the reporting piece of it, and I thought it was just a good blog post. So if you want to look at how people are using Power BI, go check out this blog post. You may enjoy it as much as I did. All right, the Enterprise Gateway. So if you watched my video on Tuesday, you'll know that I said that when typically I get items or questions, that usually they come in batches or waves, and this was another example of that. So I saw a lot of questions on the community forum where people were asking about the Enterprise Gateway, it wasn't working, and a lot of this all came down to Analysis Services and the fact of how we use the user that you sign in with Power BI and send that down to the Analysis Services box and the things you have to have set up to do it. A lot of it came down to the UPN and the Active Directory settings. And so Ginger looks at that item and talks about that specific thing with regards to the UPNs, Active Directory, and making sure that lines up with the email address you sign in with Power BI. So be sure to check out this blog post if you are hitting that issue. I know it's confusing. I get that question a lot. I'm going to be making some updates to the documentation to try and clarify that. So this is specific to Analysis Services. The data sources that use direct queries, such as SQL Server or SAP HANA, those do not pass down the credentials of the end user. Analysis Services, the live connections, are the ones that do that right now. So if you are hitting issues with Analysis Services, be sure to check out this blog post. I'd love to hear your feedback. Go ahead and leave that in the comments below. Also, I'm going to try out a poll to see which item I talked about is your favorite. It should be in, I think, that corner. So go ahead and try the poll out, mark which one is your favorite, and you can see how that's all ranking up with everyone. If you have an item I didn't talk about that you thought was pretty cool this last week, leave that in the comments below as well. And be sure to check out the comments to see if anyone has left anything or maybe a question that maybe you can answer. If this is your first time here, go ahead and subscribe. Every Thursday I do an information roundup just like this where I look at the last week, find the items that were interesting to me, and share that out with you. Every Tuesday I take a look at a technical item where I either look at how something works, a new feature, or how to troubleshoot something. And really, this is about you. I want to help you be more effective and successful in the things that you do. So go and subscribe and be part of the conversation.